In this video, we will be covering questions regarding Japanese visas, drinking in Japan, taking off your shoes, and if crazy laws exist in Japan, and what are they? Hi, my name is Victor. This is the Give Me Flickman channel, originally created to answer questions and not ever to become the kind of channel it has become. But one of the original reasons I made this channel was just to answer casually some of the questions. So if you're interested, check the description for the details of the questions and you can watch the video. And if not, skip on to another video. I have 1,000+ videos, so I'm sure you'll find something that you're interested in if you're interested in Japanese stuff. Okay. Now, I made a video quite a few months ago with Warmoth Strat, and we were basically scolding a couple of our friends that we know in real life, we've met in real life, who have come to Japan and kind of screwed up and they had to leave prematurely. And we made a video saying, well, you know, if you come to Japan, you gotta follow certain rules. You can't be this kind of person. And that video did extremely well. It's got over like 1,000 likes and 100,000 some odd views. A lot of people thought it was helpful. We were basically kind of just blowing off steam because, you know, we care about those people who had to go back to the States, and it's just a shame that the reasons involving their departure was a shame. Anyway, here's the first question. The question, by the way, it's in the description, but you can read it. But it's from a woman who's going to be married to a man who might come to Japan as a military personnel, maybe American Air Force. So her first question is, would I still have to get a work visa? Now, regarding visas and all that stuff, there's actually a site that I found that describes all the visas in Japan, types of visas, so I will link it. It's called, well, I'll just link it. I'll just link it in the description. But www.hwwh.ocn.ne.jp/risk21/visa_applications HTM. I should have just linked it, right? But if you're listening to this video for any reason, or if you're blind, you know, and you can't see my face or the screen, then anyway. So she said, would I still have to get a visa? And from what I understand about people, see, here's the thing: if you're on a military base, I think the rules are different. So if anyone knows about military base rules regarding spouses, please let me know. But to be honest, I don't know. You'll probably have to find out that from someone who's in the military, and I don't know anyone in the military. I did know someone, but I scared him off YouTube by being my big bad self, so he's gone. So I don't know, but if anyone does know, I would really like the answer, especially in a video response. But if you're too shy to be on video or whatever, for whatever reason, then send me a message and I will add that to the description. I apologize to drinking on camera. I should have gotten all my coffee drinking out of the way, right? Okay. Before I did this video, let's see. Okay. Anyway, so she doesn't know about that. And I don't know, but let's say, forget about the military stuff, but if you do come to Japan as the spouse of a person who has a visa, who has a work visa here, who is allowed to work, you're allowed a certain amount of work. It's like part-time amount. I don't know how many hours it is. I think it's like 20 maximum. I think it's the same as being a student. If you come here as a student and you get permission from your college or university or wherever you're studying, you're allowed to work up to 20 hours a week, which, if you're actually teaching English, is quite a lot. If you work 20 hours a week and you're getting like the worst pay, which is maybe, well, the worst would be like 1,500 an hour, but maybe 2,000 or 3,000 an hour, you can still make pretty good money, right? A couple $1,000 a month. And that's presuming you don't really need the money because you're a student and you came over here with a bit of money, hopefully. Okay, next question. Let me see. I do not know if you know this answer, but I will also ask someone who got let me see. Active duty. Get to the point. With my husband, we're getting married. God, it takes forever to get to the question. I do not know if you know this answer. I will ask someone once we get there. But every time you are sent to active duty station, you normally stay for 3 years. As stated, I do not really know what a visa is, but with my husband, we're getting married after he does his basic training, being the person I am living with in Japan, and him having a steady income. I keep hearing you have to prove you have X amount of money in your funds. Would it be enough for me, other than BRBS, for me to get a job in Japan? I mean, I do not have any skills or whatnot, but instead of a work visa, etc. Also, we most likely will not need a return ticket because we are under U.S. laws, right? Again, you might not know, so I will figure this out before we go. Would we still need X funds in the bank if he already has a job for him? Okay. First of all, I can't tell from the sentence if this person has a BA or BS. But if you're coming over with the military, I would assume they're not going to ask you if you have certain funds, because you're going to be on a military base and you're basically under the responsibility of the military. So when you go breaking Japanese laws, the military police will take care of you. So I don't think you need any funds in the bank. Actually, and if you're coming over to work or find a job, you don't need any funds in the bank. You only need funds in the bank if you're applying to a school and they require you to have funds in the bank. Yeah, so when I say come up with a lot of money, that's not because someone requires it. It's because life requires it. If you come over here with a couple $100, like a lot of people I know have, and there's no one around to help you, then you're going to get screwed. Like I think I mentioned in that video, I had one teacher who was quite intelligent, but was kind of an idiot in other respects. Came over with $200 or $300 in his pocket, and a wife who had no job, and oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, you're not required by anyone if you're coming over to look for a job, and if you have a job set up. I think those requirements are set up by people who are helping you get visas, student visas. There are these companies that'll help set that up for you. But and if you want to apply for a student visa, I think the schools require that. So they don't want to worry about you becoming a homeless prostitute or something, I suppose. Okay, number 2. Not that there's anything wrong with being a homeless prostitute. Some of my best friends are homeless prostitutes. Number 2, are there any crazy laws that that I may break and not know it? Like being arrested for some sort of clothing or anything silly like that. Is there any place online I could read about those laws? These are called blue laws in the States. Like you can't walk your elephant down the street in Massachusetts, or walk down the street with your shoes untied, right? Things like that. Or have oral or anal sex in certain southern states who have never repealed those sodomy laws. I don't know if you guys know about that, but they're called blue laws, and they're quite funny in the States. In Japan, I think there technically are, but I've never heard of anyone getting arrested for anything silly like that. I once saw a man get arrested in New York City for jaywalking. Seriously, right off Washington Square Park in the Village. And the guy was like, "What, really? You give me..." No, not arrested. Ticket. He got a ticket for it. And anyway, in Japan, I've never heard of anything that minor. Most police just warn you about stuff and send you on your way. I've seen people get stopped for riding double on bicycles, and the police stop them and send them on their way. Usually they give them a good scolding, but that's about it. Really? No, I've never heard of anything crazy like that. There was a guy in America recently who got arrested for yelling bingo in the bingo hall. He got fined, thrown in the back of the police car, which I completely support. And they should have let the women beat him with like old umbrellas too, but... No, no. Silly laws? No. But does anyone know about any silly laws? No. Sorry. So good. Anyway, number 3. This may seem like a silly question, but do you have to take your shoes off everywhere? What about bars and things? No. Not shopping malls, not bars. She was raised in Michigan, and you do not take... Oh yeah, her mother says, my mother was born and raised in Michigan. If you do not take off your shoes, she would throw a fit. I'm kind of the same way. So... if it's something you do anyway, why are you even asking? I don't know. I mean, shouldn't you look forward to some of the surprises of Japan? No, you don't have to take off your shoes. But there's some places you take off your shoes. Like if you go to a clinic or the dentist, they usually have you take off your shoes there. I've never seen any bars where you take off your shoes. I went to a cat cafe once, and I took off my shoes there. But most people know. A lot of schools, yes. Kindergartens and places like that. Big hospitals, no. But smaller clinics, yes. Anyway, so not always, but it's a case by case. And some places will make you, and some places don't. In my school, we do. You have to take off your shoes in my school. And sometimes we get a new student, and they're sometimes like, oh, because maybe they figure because I'm a foreigner, we're going to let them wear their shoes. But number 4, how do Japanese react to non-drinkers? I was told that if you do not drink, it is sort of a mark against you. I could drink 1 or 2, but I would not feel all right drinking all night with people or something. I normally do not drink at all. When you first come to Japan, if you are capable of drinking and you do go out drinking, you may run into the same problem I had and a lot of my friends have had, is that they will serve you. Here's something that's a little bit different in Japan. This is an empty bottle, but if you go there, they'll serve you. This is usually a beer bottle. They'll serve you beer. They'll pour for you, and it's kind of like the responsibility of the younger people in the group or the lower status people. It's only slightly. It's kind of to show respect to your elders and your superiors, like your boss and stuff, to go around the table and pour drinks for people, and guests as well. So when I got there, even though I guess I was basically dung on the scale, on the ladder, on the social ladder there. Of course, the boss would serve me beer, and they encourage you to drink a lot. So when you go out with your coworkers in the beginning, unless you really are able to say, stop it, don't do that, put your hand over the cup, I've had enough, then yeah, they'll try to get you. I don't think they're trying to get you drunk. It's just they're drinking with you. I don't think it's anything like we're going to get you drunk and make you throw up and become an idiot. It's not like that. It's just that's they are social drinkers. If you do not drink, you just say, I can't drink. There are a lot of Japanese people who cannot drink at all. I have one student who's really cool, really great guy. But seriously, he has half a glass of wine and he passes out. It's amazing. So if you really don't want to drink, just put your hand on it and say, I can't drink. I get sick easily. Just say, Sugu byoki ni narimasu. Just learn that one expression. Sugu, soon, byoki, sick, ni narimasu. I will become sick very quickly. So, I'm sorry. Nomenai. Nomenai. I cannot drink. Nomu is drink. Nomenai, cannot drink. Number 4.5. Got 4.5 here. Does Japan still let people smoke in buildings? It is banned everywhere here now. I saw a guy go into a building yesterday with a lit cigarette, and I was surprised. It was an office building. In my building, you cannot smoke. In most buildings, you cannot smoke. Even in the center of Japan, they have all these signs that say do not smoke on the sidewalk and in the underground subway areas. When I first came to Japan over 20 years ago, you could smoke in the subways, you could smoke underground, but now it's banned in a lot of places. But and Denny's where they did have a small non-smoking section has become, I don't know if it's all non-smoking now, but the majority of Denny's, last time I checked, which actually has been a while, it's been a couple of years since I've been to a Denny's. I used to go there quite a bit in the morning, in my single days. You go to Denny's, have a nice cheap breakfast, coffee, and sit there and read the newspaper. But yeah, I should do that again sometime. Anyway, remembering single days. Now I just got my Krispy Kreme coffee. It's 7:44 in the morning, by the way. Anyway, the point being, Denny's has become mostly non-smoking, so it's getting better here, and that's it. Number 5. The other man in the video said he sold everything before coming here. We are able to have movers back and transport all our things to the new house because we are military. But I was wondering if you personally thought it would be better to plan to sell it and just buy home items in Japan. I know they have adapters for electronics, but I was wondering about home furnishing, like love seats, beds, and such. I really want to move into a town that is off base, but we really do not have much right now. But then she says, we previously lived in an efficiency apartment, so downsizing is not going to be an issue. So you're basically saying, do we have to sell everything? And by the way, we don't have much to sell. Sell everything then. Get rid of it all and come over and start fresh. That's what I would do. I came over with one small backpack. Yeah. I don't think I even had, one big backpack. That was it though. So I didn't even have a computer back in those days. There was no internet, pre-internet. So yeah, you don't really need that much, and you can find most things unless you're huge. Like Warmoth Strat, he's huge, so he would have trouble finding shirts and stuff. But even even he gets a lot of his stuff online, so you can order anything online. So those shoes, I don't like buying shoes online, but you can find even shoes up to size. I'm 11 and a half size shoes. I have big feet, and you know what that means. Yeah, that's right, big shoes. So yeah, you can find, unless you're huge, you can find pretty much most things. But there's a lot of things you can't find that are weird that you might like. Like, for example, if you have an ironing board, like a stand-up kind of ironing board, you can't really find them here. They have the short folding kind that the legs are about this long, you just put them on a table, which I don't like. Not that I like ironing, but anyway, yeah. So if there's something special that you want to bring over, yeah, I guess bring it over. But if I were you and I were going to another country, I would, there are people who live here and they do quite well with everything they have in the store. So I'm sure you'll be able to find anything you want or anything you need, and anything you really want that's very special to you. Then go ahead and bring it. Maybe a laptop would be the only thing I would say that you might want to bring over, because it's in English and you know how everything works. And you don't have to deal with buying it at a store, which if you don't understand the language, then it might be confusing for you. Okay, anyway, then she talks about the 2 Air Force bases. And if I've ever been there, no, I've never been near an Air Force base. I've been around a military Air Force base, a Japanese military Air Force. Japanese military base before, but I haven't gone in or anything, so that's about it. I think there was one addendum to her question. Let me see what it was, which is correct something. Oh, she just corrected the name of the Air Force base, which I'm not going to go into. So then, anyway, that's it. That's the answers to your questions. I hope someone found this useful. Thanks for watching. And I do want to apologize for people who have asked me questions in the past, and I have not gotten to your questions. I will try to get to them. This one person wrote all these questions in a long list, but there are a bunch of you who write short questions, and I've actually compiled them. And for 2 weeks now, I've been meaning to make videos just to answer those questions. And unfortunately, I haven't had the time, but I will try to find the time in the near future. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.